It's, for a long time, I don't think, without shelters, when there were no shelters, what did people do? What did women do? Children do?
We see many people on their worst day. They come in and they just think life can't get any worse than this. And when we get to watch them, and I know it's a little cliche to talk about a butterfly, but that's what it is. They're coming in and they're pretty low, and then they are transforming their lives, and we get to be a small part of that. And so that's really very hopeful.
A place like Midland, a lot of times it's overlooked that we have so many in need, so many that struggle. And it's great to have such an organization that's out in the community that has so many different programs, so many different initiatives, so that those in the community are aware that this is a need. This is a place they can volunteer, and this is also a place that they can go if they need that hope, if they're in a situation where they have to seek refuge or seek help.
A lot of times, many of the people that we come into contact with, just having somebody there to listen to them and to believe their story is something they've never had before they've reached out to us. They've been told many things about, what you're going through, it's not that bad. People a lot of times don't know what to say when somebody comes to them with a situation where it's either DV or sexual assault, SA. Listening to somebody and validating them is one of the most important basic things that you can do.
But one of the things I am always astounded by is the impact it has on everyone's life. Whether it happens to you personally or not, you know someone who's experienced this, or you know a child, or you have a neighbor or a friend, maybe a family member, or maybe yourself. But it impacts everyone in our community.
The Shelterhouse has been a true blessing to know that no matter what you face, you always have someone with you to get through any journey that you may go on.
I've known some people personally that have come here, and they speak of the hope, the honor that it is that they were able to come and find such dignified help, that in a scary time and crisis, they were able to reach out and be supported and loved.
I went into this field because I wanted to figure out how to help somebody else. Someone that I had loved and had a very, very strong relationship with. I knew what it was like for me to feel so helpless watching her and not knowing what to do. That's why I started doing this. Selfishly, I wanted to be able to help myself. But from that, it grew into something much more.
And I think that's what Shelterhouse does really well, is connecting people who are just in desperate situations, connecting them with the resources that they need, and to have a vision for the future, and that you really can get a job, you really can go back to school, you can get a car.
The community has much more awareness now. People are talking about this. This is an issue, violence against women in general is an issue that used to happen behind closed doors. It's still happening behind closed doors, but the conversations are coming into the mainstream. You're seeing things like hashtag why did she stay, or hashtag why I didn't leave, things like that. Without that national dialogue, we wouldn't be in the position that we are right now. Midland's amazing. I can't say enough about Midland either. I grew up in Mount Pleasant, and I am amazed by the generosity of the people of Midland every day, but I'm also amazed by the desire to get involved.
It's their own life. They don't have to worry about anybody else. One thing I physically say to my ladies is, it's about you. It's not about me. It's not about, Robin, who's, shelter coordinator. It's about you and your children, and you need to focus on that. And when I see that, that is my ultimate satisfaction, really, because a lot of times they come in here and it's like, oh, what are they going to think, or what are they going to think of me, or I can't do this, but it's all about them.
I think empowerment is at the core of what we do, and so it's incredibly important for us to empower the women, because they're not always going to live at Shelterhouse, and when we empower one woman or one man to move on beyond the trauma that they've experienced, it's not just them that we're affecting, it's their families, it's their friends, and we're giving somebody the opportunity to live a life without the fear of being harmed.
I remember being in college when I was taking a class in my undergraduate studies that the professor said that as long as domestic and sexual violence remain a women's issue, things aren't going to change. And until all men stand up and say, not my wife, not my sister, not my mother, not my neighbor, not my partner, until men take a stand, we're always going to have this issue. So we need to join together and as a community, join together, men and women, and saying, this is not okay, and we're going to stop it in our community.